Fish are among the last wild animals to be hunted commercially. But now a new solution has come into focus. Across the globe, huge cages and farms are set on the water, rearing fish where once they swam wild. At present, 1 out of 4 fish we eat is farmed, and in the future, that figure could double. But rather than provide a solution to overfishing, fish farming is making the problem worse. For every kilo of farmed fish, we need to take 4 kilos of fish from the wild to feed the caged. But again, it's our appetite for shrimp that causes the most severe damage. Mangroves are marine forests that fringe the coastlines of the tropics. They offer protection from storms and provide a unique habitat and breeding ground for a great number of species. But in many parts of the world, hundreds of miles of mangroves have been cleared to make way for shrimp farms. They can operate for only a few years until eventually they choke on their own pollution and leave behind a wasteland. The oceans are more to us than just a food source, but our other activities are often just as harmful. Sand and gravel dredgers vacuum the seabed. The ocean floor is mined for minerals, and deeper below we drill for oil. We transport it across the oceans, dangerously close to our coasts. All too often with disastrous consequences. Toxic and radioactive wastes have all been flowing into the sea for decades. The pollution has built up in the ocean's food web and ultimately flows back to us in the food we eat. Lifeless dead zones, deprived of oxygen, have developed in locations around the world. But another, perhaps far greater threat is looming. Climate change attacks the heart and lungs of the oceans. It affects life from top to bottom. As the oceans warm up, changes start to occur in their chemistry, affecting the smallest of marine life forms. Microscopic algae are the basis of all life in the sea. Climate change will alter both the availability of plankton and the species it consists of. As a result, the ocean's food web will become unbalanced. Deep down in the ocean, powerful currents flow like giant conveyor belts. They control our climate as well as the transport of nutrients through the oceans. If these currents come to a stop, whole ecosystems and the fisheries that depend on them could collapse. For the most delicate life, even a small rise in temperature could spell disaster. These white coral polyps look beautiful, but in reality, they are dying. Without the algae that live inside of them, providing them with color and energy, corals cannot survive. As large reef areas bleach, a habitat that provides the home for thousands of species simply fades away. It has only been in the past few decades that we've been able to see for ourselves what is really going on beneath the waves. As the oceans are revealing their secrets and beauty, we are also becoming more aware that they're in real danger. But fortunately, the oceans are resilient, and it is not too late for change. We need to shift to more sustainable fishing and away from overexploitation and destruction. And if we are to protect the oceans from pollution and climate change, we will have to reform our lives on land. Perhaps we can draw on our experience at home to protect the oceans. The creation of nature reserves is a well-established concept on land, but not so in the marine environment. By setting aside large areas of the oceans in which all harmful human activities are banned, the sea will be given a chance to recover. As ecosystems are restored, fish stocks will rebound far beyond the limits of the protected areas. To ensure true protection, a global network of marine reserves is needed. They should protect large areas of diverse habitat, both along coasts and in the open sea. Creating such a network will require political will and money. About $12 billion a year. That's about the same amount spent yearly in Europe and the US on perfume alone. Time to ask ourselves which we value more: the smell of perfume or that of the fresh ocean breeze. The people of the Pacific are surrounded by the endless sea. To the islanders, the ocean is not what divides us, but what brings us together. It is not too late to make a change. We all can play a role in the protection of our oceans. And in the words of a Japanese poet, individually we are a drop, but together we are an ocean.